of the European Union, but then again there are not too many people from the European Union in this room. I just wanted to say that I don't think that it is a valid policy to close an agreement as deep as the association agreement with Ukraine, and at the same time deciding upon personalized sanctions against certain representatives. Because an agreement like the association agreement in question has to be based on common values. What is possible, though, is not to sign the agreement and to have sanctions against Ukraine, which I find is very difficult decision to make because it will put Ukraine immediately into a category together with countries like Belarus. Also, the association agreement in its significance, I believe, goes far beyond Ukraine. And signing the agreement under certain conditions will send signals also to Russia and to all the neighborhood of the European Union that European integration is possible without fulfilling elementary standards of rule of law and democracy. And the European Union might use its leverage for transition in this region. But I have a question to James Sherr in another aspect. Because in the current negotiations between Ukraine and Russia about gas tariffs, about possible solutions, consortia, privatizations, takeovers, or whatever is discussed there, the Ukrainian side is very interested in dragging the Europeans into the discussion, which poses a dilemma for the European Union, because on the one hand, the European Union sees the danger of having Ukraine one-on-one with Russia in those kind of negotiations, especially with the low market power of Ukraine at the moment. On the other hand, the European Union is repelled on several occasions by the Ukrainian idea to preserve all the rent-seeking and kickback elements in the Ukrainian energy sector. What would your recommendation be for the European Union now to get involved or not to get involved in this discussion?
To come back to what our chairman said, to expose exactly what you are talking about, let's understand what the core problem is. When I first started working in Ukraine in the mid-90s, two separate multinational oil companies presented well-prepared prognoses and plans as to how Ukraine could significantly diminish its dependency on Russia if it restructured and reformed the energy sector. No Ukrainian government has taken any recommendation of this kind seriously, none, including the tandem of Yushchenko and Timoshenko. And until that is done, a lot of this investment, I don't want to say all of it, that would be hyperbole, would be money wasted. There is another factor here as well. Of course, Mr. Boyko wants Western investment to come in, for good reasons. But once it's there, we know perfectly well, given who is in power and what the priorities are, the first response to having all this money will be, aha, it's another resource which we can use for our own internal purposes. And it will be used this way. And don't overlook the fact now that the rating of companies is now moving into the foreign sector in areas that are considered untouchable. So as long as Ukraine's authorities are determined to damage the country's interests in this way, I don't think we can help except by exposing what is happening.
May I ask a rhetorical question, gentlemen from Konrad Adenauer Foundation. What did the European Union and Germany particularly do to encourage Ukrainian European aspiration during Yushchenko presidency? You did all possible, all in our power to discourage them just to please your close friend Mr. Putin and to get Northern Flow transition.